Jai Hind students, welcome to physics class of grade 12. In the last lecture we discussed about the concept of electric field due to a single charge at a point. But there are the situation when there are a number of point charges are present and we need to find the electric field at that point. Now to deal with such situation, just like in Coulomb's law we were having a superposition principle, so we are also having superposition principle in electric field also. So superposition principle, what is the superposition principle? Let us say we are having the charges q1 here and charge q2 here and this charge q3 here and so on. Let us say this is the nth charge and my target is to find the electric field at this point P. Now all of you know, to find the electric field at a point P, what we have to do? We place a test charge q0 at point P. Now let me give the direction also. Now electric field at point P due to q1 charge, it will be in this direction. Why in this direction? Because q1 will repel q0 which is placed here. Let us say I will call this electric field as E1 and this separation as R1 0 and this separation between q2 and this is R2 0 and E2, it will be in this direction. Why? It will repel q node here in this direction. And if the separation between q3 and P point is R3 0, then E3, it will be in this direction. All of you know why it is in this direction. Next is, if the separation between Qn and P is Rn0, then En, it is in this direction. So what we can say? We can say that we are having a number of charges and our target is to find the electric field intensity at point P. Now what does the superposition principle says? That superposition principle, it says that total electric field at the point P due to number of charges present is equal to the vector sum of electric field at that point due to the charges. Now this concept is based on a fact that electric field at a point due to a given charge remains unaffected by the presence of the other charges. Now electric field at point P due to q1 charge, it is k, q1 divided by distance square. Distance is r10 square and what is the direction? R10 cap. What does R10 cap means? Direction of electric field is from q1 to the q0 that I have supposed there. Similarly E2, this E2, it equals to k q2 divided by R20 square R20 cap. Similarly electric field at P due to q3 charge is k q3 divided by R30 square R30 cap. So on. Now electric field due to the nth charge, it is k qn divided by Rn0 square. Direction is Rn0 cap. Now why I said so? That electric field due to a point charge at a point remains unaffected by the presence of other charges. You look, What is the formula of electric field due to a single charge? If these charges were absent, this is the formula. Even if these charges are present, this formula, it will remain as such. There won't be any modification, any change in the formula. Now, what does the superposition principle says that? Superposition principle says that electric field at point P is equal to the vector sum of E1, E2, E3 plus En. What we will do? We will put up the expressions for E1, E2, E3 and En in them. So E1, Q1 R10 square R10 cap, K Q2 R square 20 R20 cap plus K Q3 R30 square R30 cap plus K Qn Rn0 square Rn0 cap. So this is the electric field at point P. Now what can I do? I will take K as the common. I can write it as Q1 divided by R10 square R10 cap, Q2 divided by R20 square R20 cap plus Q3 divided by R30 square R30 cap plus Qn divided by Rn0 square Rn0 cap. Now let's write this expression in terms of sigma notation. So what will be that? E equals to summation K Qi R I0 square Ri0 cap. K is a constant, it can be taken outside. And what is the value of I? I varies from 1 to n. K Qi divided by Ri0 square Ri0 cap. So what this is the say? This is the expression of electric field at a point P due to a number of charges present in its surroundings. Next is continuous charge distribution. All of us know that charge is not continuous in nature, but in actual practice, if the charges are very close to one another such that separation between them is very small, then what we can say? We can say that these charges are almost continuous, and we can assume that charge is continuous. So first of all, line charge distribution. What is the line charge, linear charge distribution? In linear charge distribution, if a charge is distributed along a wire, whether straight or curved, let us say this is the wire. Our target is to find electric field intensity at that point P. Let us say this wire is positively charged and this charge is uniformly distributed such that lambda is linear charge density of this wire. And if we consider a very small length dl here and it carries a charge dq, dl it approaches 0, right? Then lambda will be dq over dl. This lambda is called the linear charge density. Now we cannot apply this the formula of electric field due to a point charge here, because this charged wire is very long. It cannot be regarded as a point, so that's why we have chosen a very small length which is very very small, such that it approaches 0. Now if we say that this R is the separation between point P and this dq, then electric field at point P can be K dq divided by R square R cap. What does the R cap? R cap, it gives the direction of electric field. And what is dq? Dq it equals to the lambda dl. So I can write lambda dl by R square multiplied by R cap. Now all of you know how we can find the total electric field. Total electric field can be found by integrating this equation. So what is the total electric field? Just integrate this equation. Let's do its integration. K outside lambda dl by R square R cap. Now we are writing L here. Let us say L is the length of the wire, and we are taking the integration over the length of the wire. Next is surface charge distribution. Surface charge distribution. If the charge is uniformly distributed on a surface, let us say this is the surface and its surface area is S, and this surface carries positively charged, which is uniformly distributed, and my target is to find the electric field intensity due to this surface at the point P. We cannot apply the Coulomb's law directly here. Why? Because its size is very very large. So what we will do? We will consider its surface, let us say, whose area is ds and it carries a charge dq, such that ds is very very small, it approaches 0. So, and if R is the separation between this, then the electric field, if we place a point charge here, this surface will repel that. So this dE is the direction of electric field here. So here let us say this distance is R. Now electric field due to this small element dq will be K dq by R square R cap. Direction of R cap is from the small area ds to this point P, it is towards this. Now total electric field can be calculated by integrating this equation, and we have also done that sigma in this case equals to dq by ds, therefore dq equals to sigma ds. Now put up this here, sigma ds here, in place of dq, sigma ds by R square into my R cap. Total electric field can be found by integrating this equation. Its integration is carried over this surface S. So it is K sigma ds upon R square R cap. Now take K outside, sigma ds upon R square into my R cap, and the integration is carried over this surface. So this is the expression of electric field due to surface charge distribution. Now volume charge distribution. If we are having a charge which is uniformly distributed over a volume, let me draw a volume. Let us say this is a volume, and on this volume there is positively charge which is uniformly distributed. this is positively charged, which is uniformly distributed over this. My target is to find the electric field at this point P. We cannot find this electric field due to this, because it is not a point charge. So what we are considering? We are considering a very small volume. Let us say this is a very small volume, such that dV is its volume. It carries a charge dq. dV is very small, such that it approaches 0. Once it approaches 0, it can be regarded as a point charge. So electric field at point P, due to this very small volume, let us say this electric field is dE and this distance is r. Now electric field due to this small volume, k dq by r square multiplied by r cap, and we have also done that rho it equals to dq by dv. What is rho? Volume charge density. So this dq it equals to rho dv. Now so what we will write? We will write rho dv in place of dq. Now total electric field at point P can be found by integrating this equation. Let's integrate this equation over this volume V. It is k rho dV by r square multiplied by the r cap. So this is the electric field at a point P due to the volume. Now we are discussing the electric field, but is there any way to visualize this electric field? Is there any way to imagine this electric field? Yes, there is a way. We cannot see the electric field, but we can imagine the electric field in terms of a concept, and that concept is called the electric field lines. Electric field lines, they help us in visualizing electric field. We can visualize, even we can represent the electric field on a page, whether this electric field is uniform, whether this electric field is non-uniform, where electric field is strong, where electric field is weak. Everything it can be done by the concept of the electric field line. Now my question is, what is electric field line? Electric field line is a path. This path can be straight or curved, such that tangent at any point on it gives the direction of electric field intensity. I am repeating this definition once again. Electric field line is a path such that tangent drawn at any point on the path gives the direction of electric field intensity at that point. So that path is given the name of the electric field line. Now let me explain this topic. What happens if I say that here I am having a positively charge? Let me place a test charge here. What this charge will do? We know that this charge, it will repel. Then definitely there is a path along which the force it will act on this path, on this charge. Then that path is given the name of the electric field line. So now what are the properties of the electric field line? Now for example, in this case also this is a positively charged and we have placed a positive test charge here. So what this charge is doing, it is repelling this charge. So this charge is moving like this. So what we say? We will say that this is electric field line. Now what are the properties of electric field lines? Let's discuss the properties of electric field line. The first property of the electric field line is that it starts from positive charge and it will end up on the negative charge. If we are having a test charge here Q naught this q node, it will be repelled by this positively charge, and what will happen? It will be attracted by this charge. So this q node, it will move from positive to negative. So we can say that electric field line start from positive charge and end up on negative charge. Second point is that electric field line are continuous curves without any breaks in the charge free region. Now you can see that there is no discontinuity. Charge is moving from here, but there is no discontinuity. So we can say electric field lines are the continuous curves without any breaks in the charge free region. And the third point, as it is given in the definition also, that if I draw a tangent at any point on this curve, what will happen? This tangent will give the direction of electric field line. Why the tangent direction is in this direction? It is because the direction of electric field line is also this. So the direction of electric field, it is also in this direction. Fourth point is very, very important. What is the fourth point? Fourth point is that two electric field lines can never intersect each other. Let us say these are the two lines. If I say that these two lines are intersecting each other, is it possible? Let's check it out whether these lines can intersect each other or not. Let us say this is first electric field line and this is the second electric field line. Now at this point, what we can say, there are two directions of the, this is the direction of E1 here and this is the direction of E2 here. So at the point of intersection, there are two directions of electric field intensity, which is not possible because electric field intensity is a vector quantity and a vector at any point is having only one direction. It cannot have more than one direction. Here it is showing two directions. This is impossible. I am repeating again. This point is very, very important. Two electric field lines can never intersect each other. If they intersect, then at the point of intersection, two tangents can be drawn giving two directions of electric field intensity, which is not possible. Fifth point is that electric field lines, they can never form the closed loop. What does it mean? It means that an electric field line starting from positive and it is ending on the negative charge. Now this charge, it cannot enter into the body of this negative charge. So there is a discontinuity here. There is a discontinuity here. It is starting from positive to negative and there is no provision of negative to positive. So what we can say that electric field lines can never form a closed loop, but magnetic field lines, they always form a closed loop. Why they form a closed loop? That we will discuss in the chapter of magnetism. Next is electric field lines contract along the lengthwise, which shows attraction between the two unlike charges. If you draw electric field lines due to a positive charge and negative charge, you will find that it appears that electric field line is contracting lengthwise. So when there is a contraction lengthwise, what does it indicate? It indicates the attraction between these two charges. Next point is electric field lines exert lateral pressure on one another, which indicates repulsion between the two like charges. If you draw the electric field lines due to the two positively charged, what you will find? You will find that if it happens that they are exerting pressure on one another. Now these 2 points we will discuss in the diagrams. Now let me first draw the diagram due to electric field lines due to positive point charge. Now electric field lines due to isolated positive charge. Let us say this is isolated positive charge. If you keep a test charge here, what will happen? This will repel. So electric field lines, they are like this, and these extend up to infinity. Wherever you place electric field, this test charge, so these are the electric field lines due to a positive test charge. These electric field lines, how they are? Radially outwards. If I ask what is electric field lines due to isolated negative charge? No, electric field line due to isolated negative charge. Let us say I placed a test charge here. All of us know it will be attracted. This will be attracted. It will be attracted. It will be attracted. It will be attracted. Again, if I place it here, there is an attraction. Again, there is an attraction. And there is an attraction. So this is the electric field line due to negative charge. Alright? So isolated positive charge and isolated negative charge. Now, if we are having positive and negative charge, how will be the electric field lines? Let us, this is positive charge and this is negative charge. So electric field line, it starts from positive and it will end up on negative charge. It will end up on negative charge. Here again it is ending on negative charge. So this is the electric field lines due to a system of positive and negative charge. Remember, electric field lines, they should not touch one another like this. Since if we draw the circle, if we draw the curve of this, it will take a huge space. So we are showing by this way. And there is also a line. And here it is going, from here it is entering. So this is the electric field line due to a system of positive and negative charges. Now there can be a system of two positive charges also. How to plot the electric field lines for them? This is positive charge, this is again positive charge. So its electric field lines are there, but if they go there, they will be repelled by this. So these electric field lines are there. It appears that these lines are repelling and exerting pressure on one another. In the same way, we will have the electric field lines here. So these are the electric field lines due to the two positive charges. Now listen, whenever we are having the two charges of same nature, we know that there is a point where total electrostatic force is 0 and total electric field is 0. That point is called the null point. Here n is called the null point. What happens at the null point? At the null point, the electric force is 0, electric field is 0. Now homework is, draw the electric field lines due to two negative charges also. Now there are a few points that you have to keep in your mind. Note number 1, listen, you will have a number of situations in which you will show the positive and negative. Remember, the direction of electric field is from positive to the negative. And second point is, to find the direction of electric field at a point, what we will do? We will place a positive test charge here. And what is the meaning of test charge? Its magnitude is very, very small.